So as many of you guys do know, the Opium collab tape has always been a floating concept in this community for a long time. Ken and Lone have been teasing it for some years. I'd say since like 2021, 2022. They've been teasing Opium twins, Ken, Lone collab tape. It's on the way, it's dropping soon, this, that, and that. And we just got some info via Lone on Twitter regarding the collab tape alongside Broken Hearts 3, so let's get into it. And to start off, we're gonna be going to Lone's Twitter, as you guys can see right here. In the replies, he was just kind of like chopping it up, hinting and teasing at some future releases. And it all basically started off with this tweet from Lone. He said, "I feel like myself again," and somebody commented under that saying, "If you don't feel how you felt making Broken Hearts, no you do not, buddy." Essentially, this dude was like, yo, if you're not back to the Broken Hearts, old Lone, you're not back to yourself, XYZ, we don't want it. Essentially what this dude was trying to say. Then Lone claps back. He said, "I heard we going Broken Hearts 3, but maybe later." So Lone just teased Broken Hearts 3. Essentially, it's not really Broken Hearts 3. More so it would be Broken Hearts 2 because Broken Hearts and then the Broken Hearts with the little 2, that was the Broken Hearts Deluxe. So essentially Broken Hearts 2, y'all know what I'm saying though, right? So basically Lone just teased Broken Hearts the sequel alongside saying he feels like himself again. So that's a very good sign, right? Because I feel like we all know the perception and view on Lone in 2025, right? A lot of people are like, yo, I wasn't really the biggest fan of Last Forever. It didn't really feel like a Destroy Lonely album, which I could agree 1000%. The album was cool and it was like a good album. I rated it like a cool 7, but like it didn't have that like Lone swag to it. Like bro, when you heard Broken Hearts for the first time, when you heard No Stylist for the first time, that was Lone swag. That ambient trap, smooth, just like it was Lone swag. That was his lane. And with the last project, in my opinion, it felt like he just kind of threw that all out the window and I was like, yo, I'm just gonna try to make this album. Hopefully they like it. I feel like a lot of people wasn't really the biggest fans. I do have some songs that I go back to. It's definitely a solid album, but it's definitely the lowest tier album for me, in my opinion, compared to all the other albums for sure, right? So that's what he said, right? Broken Hearts 3, the sequel to Broken Hearts, could be possibly on the way, right? And we do know that Destroy Lonely does have a mixtape on the way too. So he essentially teased 3 projects by now, right? Destroy Lonely himself said he has a mixtape dropping top of the year. He just teased the sequel to Broken Hearts alongside Ken Carson Destroy Lonely collab tape, as you guys can see right here. So somebody said, "Lone, who got you feeling like this," right? He responds by saying, "I had a talk with me, decided I should do what's right. Maybe me and Ken first, smiley face, Opium twins in 2025. Is this gonna finally be the year for this project to be released? Because as we all know, this is essentially like the new 1629. Ken, Lone, collab tape, Opium twins, when is it ever dropping?" They've been teasing like Opium twins since like 2021, 2022. They're like, yo, me and Ken got a collab tape, it's on the way. We're stuck in 2025 with no collab tape. But honestly, I don't really know if that's the case, right? Because Lone said he's got a mixtape top of the year. We do know More Chaos should be dropping in what, a couple weeks from now, right? Maybe 3-4 weeks. We got 1, 2. More Chaos drops in 2 weeks? Holy, I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about More Chaos. 2 weeks away, wow. This whole Cardi stuff that's been going on, I completely forgot about April 11th, but April 11th is 2 weeks away. Lone said he has a mixtape top of the year. He just teased Broken Hearts 3 and a Ken Carson collab tape, so there's a lot of music that we could be looking forward towards from Ken and Lone. Ken album, April. It seems like Ken and his manager have pretty much stamped April 11th to be, I wouldn't say 100%, but they've been going hard on the April 11th, after all the leaks, after all the bad stuff regarding Ken's album, they've been stamping April 11th. So April 11th seems to be the word for More Chaos. And then maybe after that we could get the collab tape. And also Lone hasn't really talked about the mixtape in a while. Realistically, the only thing Lone said about this whole mixtape was that clip of him at Rolling Loud back in December.
Dropping new music. I got a mixtape coming out in the top of the motherfucking year. We not doing no album this time, you know what I'm saying? We dropping real raw, real feelings. We back on that original shit, you know what I'm saying? We pushing big YV shit, we pushing big B's. Getting money on, you know what I mean?
And since then, I don't think he's ever addressed the mixtape, so maybe we might be able to throw that whole mixtape theory and that whole mixtape project that we were all expecting pretty much out the window, because you would have thought like if Lone was going into replies on Twitter and, you know, teasing his upcoming projects, he would have said something about the mixtape, because it seems like that's going to be the next project to be released under his name. But maybe that honestly just might be a dead theory and that whole mixtape just might be scrapped. He going Ken Lone collab tape, Broken Hearts maybe later. I really don't know, but that's kind of everything he said regarding Twitter. We got Lone teasing Broken Hearts 3 alongside Opium twins collab tape. Hopefully everything goes according to plan, but realistically we're talking about the Opium dude, so take everything with a grain of salt, right? And then he said, "Y'all know I don't do no playing." Remember I said this, right? So he basically stamped it like, yo, I'm not capping, I ain't playing, I ain't tricking y'all. Boom, remember this tweet, pin this tweet. So Let's see if this all comes true. And something that a lot of people pointed out these last couple of days, obviously we do know Low 88 was not on the Destroy Lonely Euro tour. It seems like he got kicked off the Euro tour. I don't really know why. I don't know if it was because 88 was messing up a lot of Lone's sets. And 88, in his recent interview I was watching, he was like, yo, 9 times out of 10, it don't even be my fault, it'd be the venue. So I feel like he's kind of just like the punching bag for everybody, right? It seems like it doesn't seem like he did get dropped off the European leg of the tour. DJ Blackboy replaced him. Shout out Blackboy. His energy, I feel like we needed Blackboy on the mic for somebody, right? So for Lone and Blackboy, we seen their Rolling Loud performance. They went crazy, right? And it does seem like Lone unfollowed Low 88, or Low 88 unfollowed Lone. What did he say? He said Low 88 unfollows Destroy Lonely, right? I feel like a lot of people were like jumping for joy. Oh my God, Low 88 and Lone, they're done, XYZ. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people, right? Because 88's cool. I personally don't really care what 88 does. I think it's funny. I see all the TikToks, all the memes. I really don't care, right? But we do need Clayco x Lone back 1000%, especially after we seen what Clayco just cooked up on Cardi's project. Opium, baby, are we serious? You know Clayco's sitting on just some insane stuff, right? Obviously he was on the last project. He had like a couple of credits on Love Lasts Forever, but we need Clayco to do the majority of the album front to back, if not the entirety of the project, right? And if Lone is teasing Broken Hearts 3, we know Clayco's presence on Broken Hearts, the original one plus the deluxe, was major. Clayco, Lone, Broken Hearts 3, is that the possible case? Hopefully, but that is going to be the video right there. If you guys like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know, what do y'all think is going to drop first? Is it going to be the mixtape, Broken Hearts 3, Ken and Lone collab tape? And when do y'all think it's going to go down? Because Ken's dropping in about 2 weeks. Maybe we could see it like early to mid-summer, but I don't really know, because I feel like Ken's gonna drop this project and just like start touring and doing this, that, and that. I don't really see where they're gonna try to fit this whole collab tape. I hope it does release, because y'all know this is the new 1629, 1000%. But if you guys like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's MONEYMAY, or is it? And I'm out. Thank you guys.